Shalom, shalom. I want to start off this lesson by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And shalom to all the Akim out there pushing this truth throughout the four corners of the earth and to the hopeful elect. So, you see what's going on over there in Palestine and Israel, a clash. And, over here on the West, there's a lot of support for Israel, but also there is also a lot of support for the Palestinians and what they're going through over there. And we see these things taking place, and we know it's just things are stirring up because we know what time we're nearing. That the nations will rise against nations. And the uproars of the people. So I'm just gonna play this little clip.
Evening, I'm Tina Yazdani at Mel Lastman Square in North York, where a pro-Israel rally is set to take place this evening. Police have blocked roads in the area, and supporters are already arriving. They're also doing some sound checks on the stage at this time, but not before a march organized by the Palestinian Youth Movement took over Toronto streets earlier today. It was a painful display for many members of the Jewish community.
Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free!
More than 1,000 people waving Palestinian flags raised their voices outside Toronto City Hall today.
Palestine will never die!
A rally that spilled onto the streets and had Jewish communities and their allies expressing devastation and outrage.
This is horrible. It's disgusting. There's no place in our country for this.
Fewer than a dozen Israel supporters showed up to Nathan Phillips Square to counter what they describe as a hate-motivated rally.
I'm appalled that our country, our city, would have this demonstration of hate when the worst.
Hate. You hear these people talking about hate. Oh my goodness. What about the hate for the Israelites, the true nation of Israel, the chosen people of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai? What about all that hate that we've had to, deal with for many years, many generations? People are fools.
Terrorist attack since 9/11 is occurring in Israel, where women and children are pulled from their beds and brutally murdered and raped, and bodies desecrated and pulled through the streets of Gaza. These are not militants. These are terrorists.
A Free Palestine protest could be held any weekend of the year. Why this weekend after such atrocities happened in Israel this weekend?
Because now it's the time where all the people will decide in which side of the history they will stand.
The timing may come off wrong, but no, I'm not concerned about it at all. Maybe it's time for people to really start seeing the truth,
Do you condemn the violence from Hamas, though, in Israel this weekend?
There's been so much violence from the other side towards us, and it's not been publicized.
What do you say to people who say this?
That's very true. Especially seeing all of these, you're seeing sports teams, you're seeing the prime minister, the president, they're all standing with the side of Israel, condemning the violence, that was done to Israel, but nothing about the other side. What about all that? What about all that violence that America has done? Going into these different lands. What they did to the natives, what they did to the so-called Negroes. What about all that violence? What they only want to recognize that type of violence one month of the year, and it's really all bullshit. So you can just see, it's just, you can see what side, over here in the West, what side they're riding with, but You know, we know. Where's my precepts? You know, this is top news right now. So I'm going to start with Isaiah 62 verse 6. I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day or night. Yea, that make mention of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, keep not silent. So you know what? A lot of Akim out there are making videos on what's going on over there. You know, because you know the prophets are watchmen. You know, we are watchful of what's going on, and we are warning the flock. We are, you know, edifying the flock through Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, through the Spirit of what's going on, and trying and you know filtering it through the scriptures, because you know if you just watch what the news is saying, you know you'll be just quick to believe, you know, one side. You know, you'll be easily manipulated. But you know, us followers of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, we see what's up, and we know what's up, and you know, when we see things like this take place, you know, you know, when I heard about it, I got a little, you know, it's exciting, because you know prophecies are being fulfilled. You know, that the end is drawing near. You know, and there's just going to be more of these type of things that are going to occur. You know, you see what's going on over there in Russia and Ukraine, and now, you know, the thing, Israel and Palestine, they've been going back and forth, you know, for quite some time, but things will start to, you know, build up even more. Nations will start to pick sides, you know, and nations will get, you know, drawn into the conflict, and, you know, it will stir up even, you know, bigger war, and it'll stir up that third woe that we know is going to come. 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 11. Knowing therefore the terror of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, we persuade men, but we are made manifest unto Yahweh, and I trust also are made manifest in your conscience. So, you know, we see that what's going on over there is nothing but the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You know, it's this terror. You know, like, even this is nothing. This is nothing. He can do whatever he pleases. You know, children are being, you know, killed down there. People are being, you know, taken hostage. You know, and who perishes being innocent? These are all judgments that are being passed down through Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Nothing but judgment. You know, severe judgment, and these type of judgments are just going to increase in these latter days. Isaiah 19 verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Beautiful. This is a prime example of what's going on over there in Israel and Palestine. You know, nation against against Egyptian. You know, the heathens just fighting with and amongst each other, and city against city, because this is gonna make, you know, over here in the West, we already know they back up Israel, they pick their side, but other places like China, Iran, Russia, they're going to side with Palestine, you know. And it's just just wars, nothing but war. So this is Matthew chapter 24, and I'm going to start at verse 5. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. So the people over there, they're crying. I'm seeing videos. People can't find their children, their loved ones, and it's great sorrows. Pain. And in the time of Jacob's trouble, it's just going to be, times, 100 in comparison to what's going on now. Just want to play this little short video.
Shocked Israelis woke on the last day of the Jewish high holidays to the wail of sirens as Hamas and Islamic Jihad fired thousands of rockets from Gaza, and armed militants broke down the high-tech barriers surrounding the Strip to enter Israel, shooting and taking hostages. Militants in boats also tried to enter Israel by sea. It was a staggering and unprecedented offensive by Hamas and Islamic Jihad, and a catastrophic intelligence failure by Israel, and both will have long-lasting repercussions and consequences. The Israeli Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, declared that Israel was at war and that Palestinians would pay a heavy price. Militants infiltrated Jewish communities near the border with Gaza, killing and seizing civilians and soldiers. Unverified videos showed terrified Israelis covered in blood, and with hands tied behind their backs, being taken by Palestinian gunmen. Many people rushed to safe rooms in their homes as the carnage unfolded around them. Hundreds of young people at an all-night dance festival in southern Israel found themselves under fire. One survivor said, "They were going tree by tree and shooting everywhere, from two sides. I saw people were dying all around." Authorities later said that 260 bodies had been recovered. By nightfall on October 7th, the Israel Defense Forces, IDF, estimated there were still 200 to 300 Palestinian militants inside Israel. There were 8 points of engagement where the IDF was trying to regain control from militants. Israel Defense Forces spokesperson, Maj Ben Walhaus, told CNN on October 8 the death toll in Israel a day after the surprise attack by Hamas fighters breached the border from Gaza has risen to over 700 dead. On the same day, Hamas claimed to have taken more than 100 hostages from Israel and brought them back to Gaza. Among the hostages are high-ranking Israeli army officers. The hostage-taking will also complicate Israel's response and gives Hamas a significant bargaining chip. Gilad Shalit, an Israeli soldier held in Gaza by Hamas for 5 years, was finally released in 2011 in exchange for more than 1,000 Palestinian prisoners. In addition to Israeli captives, there are several other nationalities believed to be taken hostage. According to The Guardian, the exact reasons for the attack are not clear, but Hamas must have planned this offensive for many months, and it is a mystery why Israeli intelligence appears to have had no idea it was coming. Israel's surveillance of Gaza is intense. It monitors activity, communications and daily life via state-of-the-art surveillance equipment, including drones flying over the Strip. It also relies on human intelligence via informants, many of whom are blackmailed or otherwise coerced into assisting Israel. The intelligence failure is monumental, and will shake the Israeli public's faith in their government and army's ability to protect civilians. However, Israel has blamed Iran, saying it is behind the attacks, if indirectly. Israel's ambassador to the United Nations, Gilad Erdan, said on October 8, We know that there were meetings in Syria and in Lebanon with other leaders of the terror armies that surround Israel, so obviously it's easy to understand that they tried to coordinate the proxies of Iran in our region. They tried to be coordinated as much as possible with Iran. According to the Wall Street Journal, Hamas has publicly acknowledged receiving support from Iran, and on October 8, Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi talked to Palestinian Islamic Jihad leader Ziad al-Naqala and Hamas chief Ismail Haniyeh. According to senior members of Hamas and Hezbollah, officers of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, had worked with Hamas since August to devise the air, land, and sea incursions that took place in the attack, and that Iranian security officials gave the green light for the assault at a meeting in Beirut last Monday. In addition to Iran, as reported by News 18, Russia and China have played a major role in the massive attack on Israel by Hamas.
So you hear that, Russia and China, according to this video, Russia and China, have played their part in this attack on Israel. So, nation against nation, the sides are being, the line in the sand is being drawn, and this is all going to lead up to that third woe. Because Russia and Iran and China, they don't fuck with the states, and they're gonna come against it. They're sick and tired of it. They're sick and tired of Babylon. Just like here we are, the ones who follow Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, who know that He's coming to deliver His elect. We're sick and tired of this place. And the other nations are sick and tired of them too, because all they've done is made the other nations drink of their wine or their fornication, drunken in their bullshit.
The assessment by intelligence agencies states that, while Iran provides open training and political backing to Hamas, Russia is known for its proximity to Hamas, and the Chinese technology was key to the attack. This reminds of Israeli concerns about Chinese weapons in the Middle East. A study published by the Institute for National Security Studies, INSS, at Tel Aviv University in 2018 showed China's arms exports to the Middle East began in the mid-1970s, and by 2017 it reached $12.73 billion. Expert Yoram Evren at Israel's Institute for National Security Studies, INSS, said that Beijing's increased...
So that's enough of that. Let's get back to the precepts. So this, did I read this already? I read that already. So this is Luke chapter 21. I'm going to start at verse 9. But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. And said he unto them, Nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines, and pestilence, and fearful sights, and the great signs shall there be from heaven. So this is basically same thing that what was spoken of in Matthew chapter 24. Nation against nation. Israel never seen it coming. Could they have not possibly seen it coming because they had the help of Russia, China, and Iran. Could the intelligence of those nations played a part in Israel not being seen? Of Israel not seeing these attacks come. We don't know, but at the end of the day, it's all prophecy. Ezekiel chapter 7 verse 25, destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. So those heathens down there, they're seeking peace. They're crying out for help. They're crying out to their false gods. And no help is coming, no peace is going to be coming for them. Just more destruction, more judgment. And that's all through the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. He's not playing around, He's showing his power. His true power. Controls everything, controls both sides. This is 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, starting off verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. So, woe to the world, woe to this wicked place. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. So, we're seeing that. We're seeing, once again, this all just backs up. Nations against nations, different people. See the protests going down here in downtown Toronto, people going against each other, Where was I? Start at 15 again. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor their priests, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So these the Hamas, they're down there, and they don't care. They're taking their hostages. They're killing young women, children. They just don't care. And these are all spirits created for vengeance, through the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Last precept I want to get is 2nd Esdras chapter 9, and we'll start at verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. So you're seeing the uproars now. Seeing uproars taking place down there in Palestine and Israel. You're seeing uproars taking place in the United States. I was hearing about protests going down in New York. You see the same thing happening over here in Canada, downtown in Toronto, uproars of the people. And I'm pretty sure as the days in the coming days, you're going to see and hear more about that. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of these things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So, none of the ones who follow and who have faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, he spake of these things, and we believed that these things would be that these things would take place before the end, and we're seeing it. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. The beginning of the end is being manifest right before our very eyes, and a lot of people are blind to this, they see that woman complaining, saying, this is not right, and you have many Israelites out there who maybe hear about this going on, but they don't really care, because it's not happening to them yet. And these are just all the things that are going to continue to manifest as we get closer to the climax of Jacob's trouble, till we're really in Jacob's trouble. And before we are in the midst of that, we know that the MOTB, has to roll out, you know. So, we're just going to keep watch of, what's going down there in Israel and Palestine. And all praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai that these things are taking place right now, because we know that these are all signs from Him, and these are all, judgments that is being handed down. So I just want to give all praise and honor and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushai Bahashem, Raka'at Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and to Shalom, to all the Akim out there pushing this truth throughout the four corners of the earth, and to the hopeful elect scattered. Stay on your watch. Shalom.